Hey everyone, we are here at DCA and it is hot in LA. We have a crazy heat wave, so we're gonna try to stay cool. We're gonna grab some food, maybe catch a ride as long as the wait's not too long, and have some fun today. Honestly, I think the heat drove a lot of people away because it is dead at DCA today. Like, as soon as I walked in, I couldn't believe that there were no crowds, but hey, I'm not complaining. So right behind me is the cappuccino cart, and I'm gonna go get the peanut butter cold brew that everyone's been talking about. It's super hot right now and I could use a pick-me-up, so let's go get it. If you can see behind me, this is my favorite spot at DCA to sit down and eat, and there is nobody here. I was walking across the bridge and I saw that there was nobody and I was like, no way! So I came over here, I was able to grab my spot, but hey, at least we can be comfortable and we can enjoy the view. So with me is the famous peanut butter cold brew that everyone's been talking about. So it's a coffee with peanut butter swirls on top, a little bit of cold foam, and it's topped with peanut butter M&Ms. This is also non-alcoholic, by the way. Oh my God. I don't know what they put in that cold foam, but I could easily drink that every single day. It's not too sweet, and that's what makes it really... Of course, I start choking right when I start filming what I was gonna say. I don't know what they put in the cold foam, but it definitely tastes like there's peanut butter infused in there. And the coffee is perfect. I don't think that there's any like peanut butter in the coffee. It's literally like just coffee with peanut butter cold foam and then just peanut butter swirls on top. So it's not crazy sweet or anything like that. I was afraid that it was gonna be too sweet, but this is absolutely perfect. Over in Plaza de la Familia, there's a really cute little crafts corner. If you want to take your kids, you can color a little mask. And so it's really cool because Dia De Los Muertos is on November 1st. There's a whole little section that actually talks about Dia De Los Muertos. So basically what it is it's every November 1st. There's huge gatherings and celebrations, and it's the Day of the Dead. So it's the one day of the year where the living come to honor and celebrate the dead. And in Mexican culture, and very much like many other cultures around the world, they don't believe that the connection that we have with people ends when they die. That connection continues like even after death. And it's crazy how our society has taught us to be so afraid of death and how everything is so final when we're dead. But I mean, if you really think about it, and this is what I really believe, I believe that energy just lasts forever. So when you do die, you just go into a different state. You're just part of the earth now. I've never been really afraid of it. I've always just kind of wondered about it, you know? Is it possibly like just sleeping? Like, I remember asking my dad that question when I was young, and I asked him, I was like, what do you think dying's like? And he was like, you know what sleeping's like when you're not dreaming? That's death. And I was like, okay, Dad, thanks. And what you can also do is they're celebrating the Tree of Life, which in many cultures, they have their version of the Tree of Life. It's a representation of all of your family members, living and dead. We were able to write down the name of a family member that is no longer with us and just write a little note to them. So I wrote a letter to my grandmother, and I wrote a note to my first cat, Black Moon. You guys, it is crazy how quiet the parks are today. I mean, Run Disney's also happening, so the half marathon's happening, so I don't know if that has anything to do with attendance, but I don't think so. I think it's honestly just so hot. I think people just can't stand the heat. I mean, I feel it. I don't even know why I'm outside right now. We walked right by Grizzly River Run, which was a 10-minute wait, if you can believe that. On this kind of a day, why would it be a 10-minute wait? That's so crazy. But we're right in front of Soarin' over California. It's California right now, right? We're gonna go do that.
Hello, welcome to Soarin'. My name is Patrick, and I'll be your chief flight attendant today.
Ready for takeoff.
Love Soaring Around the World. Both of them, Soaring Around the World and Soaring Around California, both of them are so beautiful because I think they're such great reminders of how small we are. Like when you take a moment to see the world outside of your bubble, I just really love going on that ride. It just reminds me of all the beautiful things that we have to celebrate in our world. I just finished watching Ocean Explorers on National Geographic, and James Cameron actually narrates the show. So it follows this group of researchers that travel around the world, and they follow different animals and they tag them, and they're basically studying their habits and their patterns, like how they migrate and how do they find their food at the very, very deep sea. So it's really interesting like how they do all of that and how important it is that all of those animals are able to do that, because that's what holds our ecosystem together. And James Cameron even says in the show that now is the time more than ever that we need to understand how all of these animals work, because it's important for our survival. And so it was really, really cool, like coming on Soaring Around the World after watching that show. I really recommend you guys watching it, especially if you like nature, you like documentaries. It was a really, really, really good show.
Can I get a big hi, Mark?
Hi, Mark.
That was good. We're small but mighty. Wow, that's like maybe the best hi I've heard all day. Friends, thank you so much for that. Mark appreciates that too. That's all the enthusiasm he needs to keep us on track, folks. But he's taking us down to our next destination in comfort, speed, and safety. That's our motto. Comfort for the rock-hard seats you're sitting on.
Right after I got off of Soaring Around the World, I saw the red trolley and I thought, why not just hop on? Because it's actually going to be permanently closed starting in early 2025 so that DCA can start building the new Avengers Campus areas. So they're going to need the room, because I think where they store the trolley is where they would need to put stuff for construction. So it's going to be permanently closed. That's what I've been told. I don't know if they're planning on reopening it even afterwards, but it's been a staple at DCA ever since the park opened. So I'm really, really sad to hear that it's closing. But yeah, it was fun to kind of take a ride, and it reminds me of back in the Bay Area because we have red trolleys all over the place. We're at Cars Land, and I picked up some food because I'm starting to get hungry, and it's starting to cool down, and it does feel like there's more people here, but it could also be because it's Cars Land, and Cars Land is just really, really packed. around the spooky season just because it's so beautiful. We have the vampire tomater decor everywhere. The cozy cones look really spooky, and there's just a lot of like cute little spots in Cars Land that make it like perfect for Halloween. So I ordered the mango habanero chicken strips, which sound really good, sweet and spicy. You know that's my jam. So we're gonna try these out and see how they are. We just got our food, and it is the mango habanero chicken strips. It's just chicken strips tossed in a mango habanero sauce with green onions on top and ranch on top of steak fries. So I tried a fry because it fell on my tray, and it was actually so good. I love the fries at Golden Horseshoe. I know people kind of say like, oh, the fries at Disneyland aren't that good, but I think they're bomb. Anytime I have fries though, I always need to double fist ketchup. I love ketchup. I can't do fries without ketchup. These are kind of messy, so bear with me. I'm trying to figure out like what's a clean chicken. I mean, they're all really, really saucy. Just FYI, super saucy. Really spicy and really, really flavorful. If you like spice, I would say this is maybe a 4 or a 5. It's not too spicy, but if you're someone who doesn't eat a lot of spice, then I would not recommend this. They're not that crunchy, but I imagine it's probably because they tossed it in the sauce and then it was probably waiting on the counter. So the chicken is not really that crispy. It's still crunchy, but it's not like fresh, you know what I mean? It definitely doesn't taste fresh to me. Maybe it's a little too saucy. Like, I'm not the type of person that really likes a lot of sauce on my chicken tenders. I'm more of like a really basic, like plain chicken tenders kind of girl. So maybe that's why, for me, I prefer like dry chicken. I would give it maybe like a 7 out of 10, just because I'm not like completely blown away by like, you know, the fact that the chicken's like not as crispy. Ranch is just okay. After I dunked the fry in the ketchup, I was like, oh, this is way better. So yeah, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Would I get this again? Honestly, probably not. Like, it was a cool thing to try. It's a seasonal item for Halloween, so yeah, it's definitely worth trying, like if you're around and you just want to know what to get. But it's not something where it's like, oh my god, you have to get this. Honestly, if you're in like a chicken tenders kind of mood, just get plain chicken tenders and fries. Like, you don't need this extra sauce. And there's a bunch of extra sugar in the sauce too, just FYI.
Down there. It's you who can't believe your eyes. Am I right?
We're here at Disneyland and we're about to enter the park from the right side. What side do you guys enter the park on? I've heard kind of conflicting opinions that it doesn't matter what side you go on, but there are some people that are like, you have to go in through the right side. I kind of mix it up depending on my mood. I like going on either side, but there's just something that feels right about the right side. Entering on the right side is lucky because I got the second trading card. So for sure, Magic Key holders can pick it up Monday through Thursday. And so I was super bummed because I was like, well, I'm not coming to the park until Friday, so I guess I'm just gonna have to miss the trading card. But the cast member told me that if they have extra, then they will hand them out on Fridays, just FYI. So this one, oh my God, I'm so excited that I got this one. This is Ursula, and so they're giving out a different villain every week. So there's gonna be a brand new one next week. The line for Blinky is not as crazy as it was during the first week of the Halloween season, but it's still pretty long. And I imagine this is probably the slowest it's gonna be. It's just gonna keep getting crazier and crazier as we get closer to Halloween. So if you want a photo with Blinky and you're here, then I would definitely do it around this time. Like right now, this very moment. This is really cute. It's a pumpkin that looks like Mrs. Potts. What a cute little thing to find on Main Street. It has cooled down a lot. It is a lot nicer outside now than it was earlier. I'd say it's probably still like 80s. Like it definitely still feels toasty, but it's not like it was when it was sunny. Now would be a really good time for some ice cream. But we're not getting ice cream. We are getting the Darth by Darth Vader chocolate parfait. So I have a mobile order, which is not gonna be ready for at least another hour. So I was thinking let's head into Tomorrowland and catch a ride.
The Astro Orbiter is now beginning its descent. Please remain seated until your rocket ship stops. Then follow me.
Well, darn, I was hoping we could go on Space Mountain because they just opened today after a month-long closure. They just did a bunch of refurbishments, but the cast member said that it literally just closed and they don't know when it's going to be open again, so. I really love watching Disney documentaries, and so I just watched The Boys, which is a documentary about the Sherman Brothers, who basically wrote all of the amazing music for all of the classic Disney movies that we all know and love. The Sherman Brothers are well known for music from movies like Mary Poppins, The Aristocats, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and The Parent Trap. And when they were talking about the song It's a Small World, they were both just commenting on how needed that song was at that time when they wrote it and when it was presented to the public, because, you know, we had just gone through war and it was just a time that people just needed to band together. And I think especially now too, the song means so much, as well as the ride. And they were even sharing a really cute story about how the Sherman Brothers and their wives were on the ride, and I guess the song just stopped, and then the four of them just sang the rest of the song on the ride while they were on there, and I just thought that was really sweet. This is the Darth by Chocolate, and it's a fan favorite. It's been at the park, I think, for the last couple of years, and it is chocolate cake, red velvet cake with layers of chocolate ganache and cookies on top. Now, I've never had this before, but I have a massive sweet tooth and I love chocolate, so this might be my new favorite thing, but let's find out. So many cookies. Wow. It's so rich, but this is amazing. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it tonight. Thankfully it has a little cap, but oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see this. Just look at that. You've got layers of chocolate cake, red velvet cake, chocolate ganache, and that looks like chocolate syrup. I mean, if that's not a bite, I don't know what to tell you. If you like chocolate, you definitely need this. I really need some milk. It's just so rich. Thankfully I have my water, but I would highly suggest eating this with some milk. And I took a bite out of it already, but this little piece of chocolate is insane. Like, this does not taste like Hershey's. A chocolatier made this. Like, this is magical. Wow. I'm convinced that Disneyland has like world-class pastry chefs hiding in the kitchen, for sure. They definitely have some really amazing desserts. Let's try this little red lightsaber. It looks like white chocolate. Not as flavorful as that bigger chocolate piece, but still pretty dang good. Disney, you've got to keep this on the menu year-round. Or, idea, bring this back for Valentine's Day and make like a Black Forest cake. I think that would be so good with like the dark cherries. I feel like that would just marry so well with the decadence of the chocolate. Just a quick little update. Yes, I'm almost done, but I wanted to show you guys this little star. Like, how cute is that? There's little edible stars in there too. This is such a special and fun dessert to make your Disney trip just that much more magical. Well, it was a little bit of a bummer. So they ended up canceling the fireworks because of winds really high up in the atmosphere. So they just canceled the fireworks. So, which is fine. I didn't actually stay, but I've seen the projections on the castle before. So we're actually gonna finish this video with me sharing all of that from a previous day. Well, thank you for tuning in today. We did a lot. And I would say of all the food items that we got, I'd give the peanut butter cold brew #1, followed by the Darth by chocolate, followed by the mango habanero chicken strips. Like I said, you might as well just go to Golden Horseshoe. They are way better there. But make sure that you like and comment on this video. Let me know what you liked, what food item you would try if you had those 3 choices. And we are gonna finish today's video with the projections on the castle. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next time.